It's Audio Synchronicity, live. With your hosts, Andres Perez.
Hello, people of the internet. This is Kaiju Noir here.
And Brayton Connor.
He was playing peekaboo with me with like a waffle or something. It was really weird.
And now, Kaiju Noir presents Audio Synchronicity, live.
Hello, people of the internet. It is I, Andres Perez, aka Kaiju Noir, here once again to present to you episode 7. I almost paused there for a second. Episode 7 of Audio Synchronicity, live. I am, of course, your host, as always, and here with me is my faithful companion, my co-host, Mr. Brayton Connor.
Good Friday evening, everybody, and happy March. Happy 7th episode to us. The audio synchronicity awakens here. It's pretty great.
Absolutely. And I see what you did there. And so hopefully episode 8 won't be as divisive, unlike a certain film in the
I hope
particular
not.
March franchise. No, because you see, we're going to set up a
Neither of us are gonna milk a sea cow, right? That's not gonna happen.
Hopefully,
on screen,
I
and
just
drink
hope
its
to God.
green milk.
Yeah, we're gonna. It's like something we hinted at earlier on in episode 4 that we really did not need an explanation for episode 8. Yeah. Hopefully, we won't be setting up a whole lot of things here that we just kind of will politely, quietly ignore and brush under the rug, and anything like that. No, we're not going to do that.
No.
So, in fact, we're
because we love the fans.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we don't want, and by that I mean we don't want you to hurt us and call us names on Twitter and scare us.
The Twitters can be very scary, man.
Very scary.
Very
It's a
scary indeed.
world.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, after all, the internet is Sir's business.
Sir's business.
Sir's business.
Yes.
Yeah, it's SRSBZAZ. Sir's business. Biznaz.
Yep.
Biznaz.
Bizna.
Biznaz. Yeah. So, how is everybody doing in the audience today? Looks like we already have 10 followers already watching us now, and that's very great to hear. Let's see here. We have Lydia here. We have Jordan Fazende. I know I bastardized that name. I apologize. Cody Bratch. Let's see. Godzilla 154. We have the Sci-Fi Dragon. We have, earlier on we had DeMichael Jackson Helm. Along with Cody, who was here early on, and Shoma, and our good friends in Shoma and Crooked Lore, Spooky Bones, Dragon X, all you guys, thank you so much for joining us nowadays for the beginning of our show. So now I'm going to be trying to, how would I say this, just advertise and spread the link all over the all over Facebook, try to, get as much people to know about the show as possible. Meanwhile, as always, would you like to tell us what you've been up to, my friend?
Absolutely. The month of March has been a wonderful month for me. I had a birthday at the beginning of March. I had
happy birthday, man.
Thank you, Andres. I've had a lot of good things come my way. A lot of good things with school. I've been doing well in college. I've there's been a lot. I've had a lot of good fortune, shall we say. I've gotten a lot of voiceover work. I've gotten paid for said voiceover work.
Ah, sweet, dude.
Yeah, things are shaping up. I'm not a total pathetic loser, so that's always a good thing. I'm keeping myself busy, and I'm having fun keeping myself busy. So that's important. That's key.
That's fantastic to hear, man. And right now you are just about to wrap up your first year of college. Am I right?
Yes, that's true. Yes.
Oh, okay, great. When does your vacation start?
I'm not exactly sure. I think it might be it might be at the beginning of May, I think, possibly. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. College is weird, Andres. It doesn't work the same way that high school worked, and that makes me scared.
No, it does not, man. It just takes everything you know about school life and just chucks it out the window.
Yeah.
And before launching a nuke at it.
I'm an unprepared citizen when when trying to get ready for college, and I'm less unprepared now, but still kind of in that unprepared zone. I've gotten the hang of it over the course of the year.
That's good to hear, because I remember I mentioned to you that before you started high school, like right around the time you were about to finish high school, I told you that, like, hey man, get ready for college. It's gonna be like a huge kick in the nuts because it's gonna be like unlike anything you've ever seen before in your life.
Yeah, I was just at the beginning of the year, I was just totally overwhelmed by everything, and unprepared for everything.
Right.
And that was a very scary sort of feeling, but
was it spooky?
spooky and scary because it was different and it was change, and we all know that that's spooky and scary and
Absolutely
just not good. Yeah,
He's no good.
he's no good at all.
No.
No. But yeah, I have a lot of projects of my own I'm working on. I'm working on a lot of projects with the mutual friend of ours in Shoma.
Yes. Waffle Man.
Waffle Man,
the
yes.
spin-off to Audio Synchronicity.
Yes, it is in universe now. It's thanks to this show we've given birth to this crazy, strange Waffle Man character, and I couldn't be happier. It's been great, and it's gonna be great. That'll come out sometime. If not in April, then the very start of May. Will that radio drama drop? I don't know whose channel it's going on yet. But I'd like to put like a promotional, if we can, put together a little promotional thing for it on your channel to advertise it a bit.
No, I shall not allow this trash. No, I'm just kidding.
I am burying it.
There's no money that's worth this. You're such pests. Okay, but that's really good to hear, man. But yeah, of course, I will definitely be, be more than happy to help you guys out in trying to promote this sort of bizarre, strange spin-off of ours.
Yeah,
or spin-off of yours, rather.
Well, we can include you in. Again, we can include you in with the residuals and everything.
Right.
Because
so far, for the voice cast, it's you. I'm assuming in Shoma, me, and our a friend of mine from the Sunday Night Live show. Win the Rogue, who's going to be providing a voice as well. I'm assuming
Andrew is providing a voice for the thing, and
excellent.
Outside of that, and Shoma's brother Gabe, I think that's his name, is providing a voice. Other than that, though, it's pretty much us doing everything else. But there's not. The good thing is there's not too many characters, so we can kind of get away with doing horrible voices for everybody else.
Right.
Because it's sort of a send up of the 1940s, 50s sort of radio plays and film serials, like the really conservative-minded, had Batman running around calling people Japs sort of thing.
Holy shit! Okay.
It's sort of a spoof on that and the whole Frank Miller All-Star Batman and Robin sort of thing too, with the relationship between Waffle Man and Boo the Boyish Wonder.
I can already wait for him to call Boo the Boyish Wonder retarded.
Oh, jeez.
What, are you retired or something? I'm the goddamn
Waffle
rats. Man. I'm the goddamn Waffle Man.
Yeah, Bruce Mansley, a crazed CEO of a breakfast company with just too much power and money at his disposal, transformed himself into a waffle and runs around with a little space girl. So yeah, it's strange.
This does remind me of like that currently ongoing like What If Elseworld spin-off comic. What was it called? Batman White Knight. Have you heard about this?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, I've read the first like couple, maybe 8 issues or so online, and it's quite fascinating where, the Joker, he turns sane, he becomes a lawyer, and he's like, you know what, Batman has gone too fucking crazy this time. It's time for him to actually pay for all the damage he's caused. And like you have like Nightwing and Batgirl are like, Bruce, what the fuck is wrong with you? Shut up, I'm Batman.
Yeah, we have a scene like that in Waffle Man. I'm really proud of with Boo and Waffle Man in the Waffle Mobile, as it were, having a brief discussion about him just losing his mind and her not signing up to just beat people up mercilessly for no reason at all.
Right.
No, yeah, it's shaping out to turn. It's going to be pretty great. I have a lot of good feelings about it. We're pretty proud of it. And we also have another project, which I won't announce until because a lot of my projects that I want to go through with end up falling through before they even start. I don't want to announce it until we've actually got scripts together and something in the works. But yes, also look forward to more things.
Okay. Let's see. So going through the comments here, we had both Lydia and Cody wishing you a happy birthday.
Thank you.
As well as Jordan. Let's see. And Shoma said Brayton was born on the same day as Go Lion, aka Voltron.
Apparently, yeah. I'm happy with. I love Voltron, so I'm happy with that.
That is excellent to hear. Let's see. Godzilla154 said happy birthday. Let's see. It's going down. Cody saying spooky and scary, like skeletons.
You could say that.
Let's see. Scott Crooked said college is for mortals who don't live with cat girls.
Right. Yes.
That's very true. That sadly we can't all have roommates with anime cat girls.
Damn it! You're right. You're right. Spooky skeleton man. Is the Crooked Man a skeleton? What is he? Has he told you what that is?
I think he's told me. He's kind of like some interdimensional being, which is bullshit for I don't know. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
No offense, Will. Let's see. Let's see. Cody says, "Da da da, Waffle Man." Let's see.
Yes. That's gonna be the theme song.
Oh, and Lydia already made the joke. So is Waffle gonna make anyone eat rats?
Yeah.
Let's see. In Shoma, well to know I wasn't the only one angered and saddened by. Okay, they're talking about something else. Jacob says still 10 times better than the Teen Titans Go Waffle episode.
I hope so.
Hopefully your project won't consist of characters just simply saying waffle over and over again.
No.
What was it? Inshoma says, I was once married to a cat girl. Now I owe her alimony.
Well, that's the fact of life. That's the sad reality. They want the money.
Right. We all know cats. They pretend they care, but they don't really care. They're
sarcastic bastards. Yeah.
Right. I'm very sorry, Crooked. Let's see. Crooked Bones says, I see there can only be one skeleton man.
You guys should fight. It's probably gonna look like the skeletons from that Harryhausen film, just like with swords. That'll be awesome.
Let's see.
Which, by the way, that reminds me too. I just want to mention real quick.
Yeah.
I saw Ready Player One twice this past week.
Oh yeah.
Or this past couple days, and there are Harryhausen references in that. The skeletons from oh my god, I want to say it's Jason and the It's probably not Jason and the Argonauts.
It is Jason and the Argonauts.
It is okay. Yes. They're in there, and also the sort of centaur Cyclops is also in there, and I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. They're pretty awesome.
I just had a nerdgasm right there. It's like, oh,
yeah. There's a lot of the 80s, nostalgia in there, but there's a good amount of 50s sci-fi callbacks. There's these aren't really spoilers because they don't really play any into the plot,
right.
But they're in there. There's the spaceship from War of the Worlds, the original, is in there.
Nice. Those,
and just hearing that sound, just hearing that sound effect of the, it's pretty awesome. Yeah. Yes. But yeah, I think there's Robbie the Robot from Forbidden Planet's in there.
Nice.
And I think Gorch from The Day the Earth Stood Still. But yeah, there's a lot of shit in there. I like the movie. I'll just say that.
Yeah. So I take it it's good.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. Yeah, it's been divisive because I guess a lot of people have been let down by it.
And some people saying it's just a nostalgia pandering piece of shit Hollywood movie.
Yeah, but I don't see it that way. I think there's far more depth than just hey, look, it's a thing that I know. You could say the same thing about any number of crossovers. They shove a lot on screen, but it makes sense within the story and the virtual reality world in which they're living in.
Okay, that's good. Because I heard that there was this sort of theme going on present in the movie where it's taking what you love and using it to build a better future or something.
Yeah. I don't want to. I hesitate to say anything too much about it because it is so. It came out 3 days ago.
Right.
But no, I would recommend. And Mechagodzilla's in it, man. Come on.
Absolutely. At this point, it's not a secret anymore, especially since it's in the ending of the book. And
right.
The ending of the book, that's what made me curious about Ready Player One because I remember back when I saw what was it, Monstrosities Tokusatsu vlogs. When I think his name was Matt, he explained the ending of the book. It's like, oh, that's why everybody was talking about this book. I'm assuming, and so it's like, okay, sweet. So Mechagodzilla's the final boss. All right, I'm into this now.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And I've seen some things online about people being disappointed that there weren't more kaiju in it. And that, the people who reported that there were kind of lied or something, or just like missaw something in the movie.
Where's Schwarzenegger to go, you lie?
Exactly, yeah. But no, yeah, Mechagodzilla, he looks great. It's not just a robot dinosaur that they're saying, well, we can't really get Mechagodzilla. No, it's Mechagodzilla. It's redesigned, and they affirm it in the movie. There's a close-up of somebody saying, "Oh shit, it's Mechagodzilla," while driving towards him, and it's made even better by the fact that you hear a little bit of the Ifukube theme as the da da dun da da dun as he's marching forward, like played in this really doom sort of way. Yeah. I would have preferred if they had used something from the Mechagodzilla. But I'm just a dreamer, so that's that might have been a little off-putting.
I'm a dreamer,
but
we're
he
not
does
the only one.
But he does have spinning hand missile rocket fingers, so that's fine. That's good enough for me. Nice. That's yeah.
Let's see. Sci-Fi Dragon said, "Is King Kong in it? Because I saw him in a TV spot."
Yes, he's in it. He's literally the boss of a level that the people in the game have to beat. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. It makes me wish that this sort of thing would be a real life thing where just anybody can take any. I gotta wonder what the future must be like, where like people don't give a single fuck about copyright laws and just put any movie character, TV character, whatever in this movie, in this like Oasis video game. It's like, is the future so shitty that like everyone's copyright on every character just expired automatically? Or is this kind of like one of those like video game mods where like anybody can create their own 3D model of whatever character they like?
It's more so that
in there. Okay. So these are all like user created characters.
Oh yeah, like choosing your own avatar.
Okay. It's also funny how like some characters apparently are like they choose to make their own original characters, and others apparently come off as lazy and just take like the Iron Giant or something.
Yeah. Well, one of the characters, they're building the Iron Giant as an actual thing throughout the movie, so it's not like they just choose it to be an avatar.
Okay.
But yeah, you'll see occasionally, oh hey look, it's the Battletoads, or hey look, the Gremlins. That's a weird choice.
Oh nice. And does Chucky kick as much ass as he does in the trailer?
Oh, it's pretty cool. His scene's pretty neat. And there's I won't say which Kubrick movie, but there's a long sequence of that is obviously Spielberg playing tribute to Stanley Kubrick. Okay. And it looks right out of the movie where the scene is taken from. It's amazing how they recreated it, like the sets in general. It looks identical to.
Oh, nice. Like, does someone actually play a young, maniacal Jack Nicholson?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, you just blew it, Grace. It's The Shining. But you don't see.
You don't see Jack Nicholson.
You don't see Jack Nicholson's face, but you see like Okay, I don't.
Okay, don't.
You see the axe going through the door.
I just want someone. It's like this. I just want to have someone in like the Oasis in Ready Player One to just pick of all the characters he could choose. He decides to play Jack Nicholson from The Shining. Yes. Yeah. So he can just pop out of nowhere saying, "Here's Johnny," and just start.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
His axe. I don't want to kill you. Well, I don't know, some random character. I don't want to kill you, Parsival. I just want to bash your fucking skull in, or whatever he says in the movie.
Yeah, and I'm sure they could have done it if they wanted to, but they just chose not to.
They just don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. Going down the comments. Let's see. And Luke the Lucky TD said, it already exists. It's called VR chat. Yes, I am aware that VR chat is pretty much like the closest thing we have to Ready Player One at the moment, and it's been proven to be a fucking nightmare. Let's see. So you know what? Maybe it's good. It's a good thing we don't have a virtual reality game.
I
like
really think it's
it.
for the best. Yeah.
Probably. It's only an optimistic dream of ours.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but god damn it, it's a really cool badass dream. If I can be any character I want and be a Gundam fighting whoever if he eventually fights in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, let's see. Crooked says Bell would be my avatar. Then I will achieve Ultra Instinct.
Oh.
That's a Dragon Ball Super reference.
Okay.
It's essentially like the next Super Saiyan.
Ah.
So it's like I'm gonna have my original character go Super Saiyan in this game. And then everybody will think I'm a girl and shower me with attention.
Oh my god, is that what you want?
Apparently that's what Crooked wants.
Hey, this is a no judgment zone. It's fine.
Right. There will be no judgment here unless we have deemed it necessary. Which is now, but not for our dear friend Crooked, but rather for a particular aggregate website by the name of Channel Awesome. Now, I know you, Brayton, are as familiar with Channel Awesome as I am, but for those who probably may not have heard of this website, this was an aggregate website, which is just another word for this is a website that had a bunch of contributors, each contributing some form of entertainment, usually in the form of reviews, game reviews, anime reviews, movie reviews, TV show reviews. Because this was kind of like all inspired by like what James Rolfe was doing with his angry video game reviews as the angry video game nerd. And back in the, I want to say mid to late 2000s, that was like everywhere. That was like the thing to do to get yourself noticed on YouTube, was to make negative, over the top, angry reviews of popular media. And so even though like the Nostalgia Critic is still, this was started by like Doug Walker and his brother Rob Walker and their CEO Mike Michaud, that they got together and developed this this supposed corporation, this company called Channel Awesome. And with Channel Awesome, they created this website called thatguywiththeglasses.com, which was eventually kind of replaced like a couple years ago with channelawesome.com. Not sure why they didn't do that from the beginning, but, you know, there you go. And so they eventually took in a lot of people, and a lot of people actually started making names for themselves, such as like Linkara with his Atop the Fourth Wall comic book reviews, Spoony one with his, game reviews, Angry Joe current game reviews, Mars Girl with anime videos, was Bennett the Sage, another anime reviewer, so on and so on and so on. And so with Channel Awesome, eventually, like, they also produced several movies to celebrate the anniversaries. It was like the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth year. The first 5 years, they produced some sort of special to produce some sort of like special anniversary project, and you can really feel like there was like a sense of community there between all the contributors there. But as the years went by, you could sort of start to see like the dark side of this company start to unfold as people started leaving on not really the best of terms. And so eventually, I guess, like, my taste in internet entertainment changed over time. I didn't really get into angry, negative reviews as so much, and on top of that, I really did not like the style of reviews that like people like Linkara and Nostalgia Critic were really going in. So I searched elsewhere for my entertainment, but I've often checked back on Channel Awesome every now and then just to see how it's what direction it's going, because I've admitted in the past that the Nostalgia Critic and his movie reviews were one of my major inspirations for starting my own YouTube channel. Yeah, and so I owe it to Doug Walker for being like such an inspiration for me, one of the many inspirations for me, and I will always be grateful for the hours of entertainment he and his community provided back in the late 2000s, early 2010s. But still, it's always kind of interesting to see. You've been there from the beginning, so you kind of want to see how it ends, if it ends, really. And that may come sooner than later, although that could be just an exaggeration on my end, because recently there has been a Twitter movement going on called hashtag change the channel. And so recently a lot of people have started, former contributors have been leaving the site as a result of bad management going on at Channel Awesome, and they started sharing all their grievances online in the kind of like the biggest PR disaster that could possibly happen for Channel Awesome, where everybody's spreading the hashtag change the channel movement. Everyone's talking about how awful it was to work with Doug Walker and Rob Walker, and especially Mike Michaud.
Has there been a hashtag for channel awful yet?
Oh no.
I mean, come on, internet.
I want to say that maybe hashtag change the channel was maybe inspired by that one joke that the Nostalgia Critic pointed out in his review of Street Fighter, if you remember. There's a scene where all the bad guys were were watching TV, and they see a big truck that's about to crash into the building that they're in. So the stupid character says, "Quick, change the channel!" Which Doug Walker mentioned as being like the only funny joke and the only good joke in the movie. So maybe that was inspired by Street Fighter, the movie. I could be, I'm most likely wrong. But yeah, so people have been have been collecting a lot of these tweets from former Channel Awesome contributors and kind of made this gigantic list here. And so, and a lot of people have actually left, as I mentioned before. Most notably Linkara, who is perhaps like one of the top 3 most popular people on the website. I remember like the top 3 at the time back in the day were like Nostalgia Critic, Spoonie, and Linkara. Spoonie, he left due to some controversial behavior that he had a couple years back, and nowadays he's absolutely, he's gone AWOL now. Let's see. And Linkara, he's still doing his work, good on him. And so then he had eventually left, and he made this long Tumblr post stating that the only reason he stuck around this long was because he wanted to try, because he was so popular, he wanted to try to see if he can improve things himself. But every suggestion he made to the higher-ups, most notably Mike Michaud, he was always turned down. And so because it's been like this 10th anniversary, he thought, you know what, maybe this is just a good time for me to leave at this point, considering that there's nothing I can do to improve this place. And so he's leaving. Let's see. Inshoma says, Channel Awful is my upcoming website, but we do nothing but review war atrocities.
I look forward to it. That sounds splendid.
Let's see. So yeah, it was quite shocking for me to see Linkara leave, and others have left. Mike Jevons, who does Shameful Sequels, left. We had Todd in the Shadows, he left. I'm sure several others have left since then. But I noticed that there was like a large group of people that left a couple years back. I want to say 2015 or 14. We had Obscurus Lupa left, Phaelus, Lindsay Ellis, the nostalgic chick. Let's see. I'm pretty sure some more, like Lord Cat, he was one of the first people to leave. And actually, when Lord Cat left, Jason Polera, he was one of like the first people who was like vocally negative against Channel Awesome. And he was always kind of seen as kind of like this, like, what's the proper term? Outlier? He was always kind of seen as like this person who was like ostracized by the rest of the Channel Awesome community. It's like, oh, don't listen to him. He's an outsider. He's not one of us. Don't believe him. But now when more people leaving, they've also been saying the same things that Lord Cat has, or Jason Polera have been saying since the very beginning. And so that's, obviously given a lot of credibility and saying, if all these people are saying the exact same thing over the course of like the last 5 years, something's
There's probably some truth to it.
Right, yeah. So I find it very interesting that only now this sort of thing has been caught on, now that like a lot of the bigger people from Channel Awesome have started leaving.
Yeah.
So let's see. I'm going to just take this link. Let's see. From this forum, I'm going to share it with YouTube. Just so I can show everybody how, where I'm getting this information from. And this person who's giving a lot of their brief, summarized facts about it, they have, they show what tweets they came from. I love Crooked's message here. Critics are just too worse to work with, just as bad as animators. Damn straight, Crooked.
Yeah.
Let's see. So going down the long list, let's see.
I work with an animator and a critic. Imagine how awful that must be. Gosh.
Let's see. You know what's worse within critics and animators?
What's that?
Editors.
Oh, tell me about it. Oh, wait.
Oh.
Oh. And then you look in the mirror. Oh.
Let's see. So this person by the name of Brian McDougall says, everything I'm going to type out should start with the words apparently, because I can't obviously fact check this stuff, but these are all assertions from various people. First off, Doug Walker doesn't own the rights to Nostalgia Critic, the character, or all other characters. Mike Michaud, the CEO, and one of the original founders of Channel Awesome does. Next up, Channel Awesome, you would think, being a very small operated company, would be an LLC. Instead, it's a full-blown corporation, and they speculate it was done this way as a way to maybe offer people shares of the company. It's a tad odd. It's a tad on the odd side for it to be a corporation, but they may have their reasons. Another thing, the sole owner of all this, Mike Michaud, seems not to be the nicest of people to work with, particularly the women on the site has employed over the year. With the women the site has employed over the years. He's also very difficult to get a hold of and isn't the best at communicating consistent policies to people. There's a lot more links on this stuff you can find in the various Twitter threads. While almost everyone seems to not like him, many are also ready to point out that he is not the sole problem and that the blame falls on Doug and Rob Walker as well. That it's very interesting because a lot of people seem to be pointing the finger at Mike Michaud for not being the best to contact with, and a lot of same issues have been repeated over and over again with the lack of communication, lack of consistent policies, just lack of organizational skills in general. Let's see. Next, contracts have also been an issue where they, meaning Michaud and the Walkers, will pressure people into signing stuff to avoid lawsuits related to firings or injuries. Next up, the gaming website Blistered Thumbs didn't tell some of its people ahead of time that the site was shutting down. And that was another thing that was a big disaster because they tried to start up a video game spin-off with all their video game related contributors to post on Blistered Thumbs, but I guess they didn't do enough to advertise that site and not many people were watching it. Although, to be honest, I rarely saw Blistered Thumbs myself, visited Blistered Thumbs when it was the thing, so I really have no idea as to true reason for why that site failed. Let's see. Sounds Like Payments was mostly about exposure on the site and a free copy of their anniversary DVDs, which a lot of people claim they never got. Lots of broken promises, like the site was supposed to, in time, be less about Doug, but he kept wanting it to be mostly about him. Also, site enhancements and ways to better showcase people never materialized. There's also a lot of stuff about this, a lot of stuff about Maker and Disney after the blip apocalypse. There's more, a lot more, most of it being directed at Michaud. However, people aren't the warmest about Doug Walker either. There's similar stuff about him bullying people into doing what he wants and being callous. The Walkers would call people children for complaining or asking for increased ads on videos so the creators could make more money. And I guess a lot of people have also been angry at Doug and Rob Walker because
The Walkers.
the Walkers. Because that almost sounds like a horror movie. The Walkers.
Oh my god.
So they're just as mad as at the Walkers as they are with Michaud, because as much as the people have tried to complain to the Walkers of Michaud's behavior and organizational skills, the Walkers just let Michaud do whatever he wants. So all that behavior that Michaud is doing, it reflects poorly on the Walkers themselves. Even if the Walkers aren't really doing anything, that's the problem. They're not doing anything. Apparently. Allegedly,
yes.
We gotta cover our bases here. Let's see. In the To Boldly Flee, the final anniversary movie, Doug didn't tell everyone that he was retiring Nostalgia Critic. Some took the announcement as if Doug was basically doing away with all the on-screen commentary, something that would affect almost every contributor to the site. Right, because Doug initially planned to retire the Nostalgia Critic around 2012 or 2013, I want to say. And by that point, everyone was like, what? Why would you do this? This is not going to affect you, but this is going to affect everybody. And sure
Yeah.
enough, it did, because everybody hated Doug's next show. What was it called? Demo Reel.
Demo reel.
Right. So
Yeah.
there was a huge decrease in people visiting the channel, the website. So that meant a large decrease for everybody's ad revenue.
Yeah.
Let's see. In Doug's original draft that Lindsay Ellis had to fight with him on repeatedly, he had her character sexually assaulted. She got some of it fixed, but she still had to do quote-unquote being assaulted noises for voiceover in reshoots. Her original character was going to be called 60 of 9. They also didn't want to do a fight scene where she is slapped and called a bitch repeatedly.
God.
Let's see. Doug Walker also had to be told basic things, like make sure they had food. The set had food and water.
Yeah.
Everyone was cooped up in the hot attic waiting to shoot their scenes, and Doug gave everyone very little notice on what was being filmed. People had to explain to him basic filmmaking techniques and rules, to have a second camera, and to have backup footage so it wouldn't be lost. Some was anyways.
Yeah.
I would notice that
these are like mistakes we made at G Fest. This isn't professional at all.
Right. That's the funny thing about Channel Awesome, at least in terms of like the Walker crew. They act like they're professionals, but a lot of their work comes up as super amateurish, and you can tell they had like no training, no like formal education on filmmaking whatsoever, like you are currently having at college right now. Which could be inspiring. It's like, hey, these people didn't have any formal training; they just went out and do their stuff. But the fact that they've been on doing this for like 10 years. Or like over 10 years at least for Doug's case, and their stuff still looks very amateurish. I mean, just look at their stuff and then look at everything else, every other contributors, like not contributors, but look at people like Red Letter Media or what was it, Screen Junkies, or all the stuff from Normal Boots, like with JonTron. All of their stuff honestly looks a lot more professional on like a technical, practical, special effects, every sort of level. Everything just looks better and more professional than anything Channel Awesome can put out, at least in terms of the Chicago crew.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's see. Also, To Boldly Flee, originally to be titled Star Space, The Search for Plot, is 3.5 hours long, or about as long as Lawrence of Arabia. Really, the making of To Boldly Flee sounds like something akin to The Disaster Artist. Doug's comedic ideas/theories is that comedy comes from misery. All comedy must come from misery, so he'll make everybody jerks or do something stupid, nonsensical things to serve the story, and people should be in costumes. That is something I have noticed a lot in terms of Doug's style of comedy, where he really bases a lot of his comedy off of like the old Daffy Duck shorts, where he's just this like annoying jerk who gets his comeuppance all the time. So he kind of just does that like a one-trick pony, where he is this jerk character who does bad things to other people and would occasionally get his comeuppance. Although, to be honest, I've just really grown tired of that, and it's because he does that consistently over and over again.
He's no Daffy Duck.
Even when he went to do Demo Reel, it just felt like the exact same stuff I saw in later Nostalgia Critic videos, and that's the kind of material he would use when he resurrected Nostalgia Critic. It's just, people suffer at his hands while he remains oblivious to it all.
Right.
Let's see. They never had time to learn their lines because the script was always changing. He's bad at scheduling, having people make costumes in less than 2 weeks' time, forgetting about camera crews needing to leave and things shutting down, and so on. Oh, and in one of the previous movies, Suburban Nights, someone was duct taped to a wall and fainted. I mentioned the contract, but this is one of the reasons why they had them for the anniversary movies. Let's see. There's a hell of a lot more, but if this document is correct, I'm over 1,000 words on this. You're all welcome to explore the threads yourselves. I'm limiting my searching/reading to just a few individuals, that of Obscurus Lupa, Linkara, Foldable Human, and Lindsay Ellis. But again, more were discussing it.
Crooked Lore says reminds me of us writing the crossover script.
Let's see. Going back, I haven't kept up with the comments here, but let's see what everyone was talking about. Let's see. Jordan says, still error, no link. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see. The page is showing nothing. It says there's an error. Again, very sorry, guys. Crooked says, yes, Andres, editors are just the worst. Isn't that right, Andres? Let's see. Jordan says, so wait, Doug doesn't own any of his stuff? Apparently he doesn't own any of his stuff. It's all owned by Mike Michaud. Let's see. I remember, I think last year, some YouTuber did a whole series on these folks. Some crazy shit and theories about how these guys got so messed up here and now. Yes, Kayoko and Patterson, a.k.a. Dr. Mifune.
What? Hold on. Let's wait. Before we continue.
Yeah.
What a name. Kayoko Ann Patterson, a.k.a. Dr. Mifune. Is this canon?
It is. It's my personal headcanon.
Okay. Carry on.
To respond to what he's saying, he is referring to Mr. Medicare, aka what was his original name? He had like two names beforehand, but the internet aristocrat. I want to say maybe that was his second name, but I know he went by Jim usually. But Mr. Medicare, he is the kind of person who often like trolls people and would sometimes do videos spotlighting crazy people on the internet or strange weird people on the internet. And so he is the person that Dr. Mifune is referring to, where he did a whole series on a lot of the major contributors to That Guy with the Glasses and talked about a lot of this stuff, but it only reached the surface level because he was working off of like first-hand and second-hand accounts from a couple years back, when I previously mentioned that a lot of this information was leaked previously, but never to this extent. Let's see, he also said, never got into Nostalgia Critic, though. His criticisms didn't seem to be very entertaining to watch, as well as were his jokes. Yeah, that's how I feel, too, nowadays.
Yeah, well, it's a thing where if you go back, it doesn't hold up. The classic Nostalgia Critic, it really, for the most part, it just doesn't. It was great in the time. It's kind of like Ray William Johnson.
Yeah!
It was fine in the time, but when you go back, it's just painful.
Right. It would be interesting for me to look back. I remember I used to love Kickassia because that was like the height of my Channel Awesome and I guess fandom, or the height of my enjoyment of Channel Awesome. But I'm sure if I look back at Kickassia and like I'm sure to find some cringeworthy stuff there. Sean Barry says Channel Awesome is as relevant as MySpace is for social media. Ouch. Let's see. Sci-Fi Dragon says, when I look back at the Nostalgia Critic, even his older reviews, I realized they weren't that good at all. Let's see. Sean Barry says, I really don't like Lord Cat. He's kind of an ass, but his rants on Channel Awesome are super satisfying and informative. Let's see. Dr. Mufuni says, Doug, you need to point the camera at the actors.
Oh, I forgot.
Let's see. Going down. Sean Barry says, the difference is that the Daffy Duck cartoons had brilliant writing and phenomenal work of Mel Blanc. Right, and not just the screaming sensation that is Doug Walker.
Yeah.
Let's see. And Shoma says, in my opinion, comedy works best in being unexpected, not one simple source like Suffering, which ends up with predictable downer endings like Later Day Daffy Duck or most Adult Swim shows. You got a point there. Dr. Mifune, no, Doug, you need to write the script before we read it.
Well, I was just thinking I could shout and wave my arms and make loud noises.
And wear silly costumes.
Yeah.
And scream.
Right.
Let's see. Yeah. Let's see.
Whatever.
Jordan says, I can't believe I actually laughed extremely hard during Nostalgia Critic's opening of his Yogi Bear review. Crooked Lord says, hey, Andres, still haunted by American Chavez? Just a bit, according to what Matt Dennion has told me. Let's see. Cody says, to think I actually used to be a diehard Nostalgia Critic fan. Wow, what a waste. So I want to look at the next list of grievances brought on that was also collected by former contributor this time by Mars Girl, who acknowledged and endorsed the previous list I just read from, what was this? Resetera.com. Never heard of this thread forum site, but I guess that's a thing. I'm going to try one more time to share these links. I'm not really sure.
I think we're only going to do your story too, because we're going to be at an hour here in about 15 minutes.
Okay, sorry about that, dude.
That's fine.
Okay, so quickly going through her list. Let's see. Handy Tumblr list with links for people who are wondering what I've been talking about since Friday. There are really a good enough. There's a really good compilation thread on Resetera here, and the ex-contributors are working on a document compiling their past experiences. Oh boy. But I thought maybe a Tumblr compilation might help the curious until said document is complete. Number 1, firing an employee who had worked for them literally every day, including holidays and weekends, because she had to take time off for surgery, then holding her severance hostage to have her sign a contract saying she wouldn't work for another media site for 2 to 4 years. I remember that was Holly. She was the what was it? The what's it called when you the human what's it called when you kind of like when you want to make a complaint about people?
Human resources.
Human resources. Yeah. She used to be the human resources, which is really hilarious to think about. Giving all these other complaints, but yeah, she was fired because she needed to take surgery. She had a surgery. She needed to take time off for surgery. Number 2, turning a blind eye to sexual harassment until it almost, or actually, got violent. Number 3, not compensating people for days of work. Number 4, not providing food and water for people on their movie sets. Number 5, trying to force 2 of their contributors to do a rape/sexual assault scene, and showed a bit of the To Boldly Flee script here. Number 6, spending $90,000 of viewers' money on this. And as we all know, this is like the infamous pop quiz hotshot, that failed game show. They raised $90,000 on Indiegogo.
Kickstarter or Indiegogo?
It was Indiegogo, yeah.
Yeah.
On Indiegogo, they raised $90,000 to produce, according to their stretch goals, 3 game shows, and they only produced like 11 episodes of this thing called Pop Quiz Hotshot. Number 7, this is the funniest one, buying a warehouse quote-unquote studio and not bothering to sound dampen it.
Yeah.
Right, because ever since the Nostalgia Critic, ever since Doug Walker tried to do demo reel, they had this big warehouse to try to film all their stuff in, and they claimed
and the acoustics are terrible. And real talk, like making fun of the shotgun mic and everything, but I think there is a reason why they use that is because the acoustics are just so bad in the building. They wanted to cancel as much as the reverb out as possible. So because when you hear the other people, the contestants using other microphones, more suiting the game show format or whatever, the echo is just 10 times worse and unbearable.
Right.
It's awful.
If you look at what Red Letter Media does, if you notice, all of them, even whether they're filming in their small little break room or
they use lapel mics.
Mics. Yeah, even when they're in their studio, when they're actually discussing the movies, they're wearing lapel mics. That's like the smart thing to do.
Right.
Even then, when they have a set for their what's it called? Half in the bag.
Half in the bag.
It's a set within that warehouse, but they still have like really good audio because they know how to soundproof that shit. Oh, and they also, what's really hilarious is that they said that they would let other contributors make stuff within that large warehouse, but they never did because apparently it would just conflict with the stuff they were trying to film. Let's see. Number 8, mass producing and selling prints of an artist's work without informing or compensating her. Apparently this was like they hired an artist to make artwork for them as like poster artwork for their movie, so they paid her for that. But then they started selling like reproductions of that art, and they didn't tell her that, nor did they compensate her for that. Let's see. Number 9, firing someone for making anti-Gamergate videos. I'm just going to leave that one by itself. Because anything related to Gamergate is bound to bring up some controversy no matter what side you're on that. Best to avoid that altogether. Number 10, mislabeling videos in their queue, then screaming at any contributors who mention the mix-up to fans. Number 11, constantly changing scripts for anniversary videos so no one could learn their lines on time. Number 12, a general Tommy Wiseau-esque approach to filmmaking and treatment of cast/crew. Like, just wow. Right down to people fainting on set. There were even camera shenanigans, and this guy had covered both The Room and The Disaster Artist.
Wow.
Number 13, not informing contributors that they'd be retiring the Nostalgia Critic character years ago. Number 14, general mismanagement of footage, videos, resources, and staff, and expecting people to do tons of work in basically no time. Number 15, verbally abusing contributors to the point of tears for their advertising practices, the ad revenue that some were trying to live on, and practices they'd eventually engage in, such as mid-rolls. Keep in mind, these people were not paid in anything but exposure. Number 16, never addressing contributor issues and complaints, insulting and harassing female people, employees who had suggestions and complaints. Number 17, shutting down the entire sites without forewarning to the contributors. Number 18, general misogyny towards female talent. Number 19, management not being available to site members. Keep in mind that Channel Awesome is a full-blown corporation. Let's see, number 20, this shit, which is a link to Twitter that had what did it say? Oh yeah, that had a screen cap of the contract, and it said, for company policy, all company policy is laid out in this link, and the link says coming soon.
Wow.
All questions regarding company policy should be addressed to Robert Walker. Any concerns or issues with the company can be addressed with Holly Brown, the person who was fired, Robert Walker, or in emergency situations, Mike Michaud. So for anyone who wants to look at the company policy, there was never a company policy. Let's see. Number 21, randomly dropping people for not posting videos despite random rule changes and or the videos simply not being scheduled right on the manager's end. Number 22, this shit too. Basically, a Prime membership that never produced anything that cost $30 to get exclusive videos that were mass released a year later anyways. Number 23, a general creepy and flippant approach to the characters they wrote, which again, it's like, Doug Walker pretty much harassing and torturing a lot of these people because misery equals comedy. Number 24, ignoring the existence of and work of contributors who had been there for years, including excluding them from video events directly involving their own extensive work, such as the Don Bluth special. Oh yeah, because Mars Girl, she reviewed practically every single Don Bluth movie in that animator's career. So when Doug Walker actually did get started doing a series of collaborations with the man himself, everyone was like, so is Mars Girl going to be a part of this? Because she's, shown more dedication than anyone else to Don Bluth on the website. Nope, they ignored her.
Yeah.
Let's see. And using other contributors' footage in response videos without telling them. I encourage everyone to check out Mars Girl, Atop the Fourth Wall, Chaos D1, and Allison Pregler. Check out, the Mars Girl's Twitter, Allison's Twitter, Linkara's Twitter, and a bunch of other people there. So yeah, that is like the two laundry lists of that kind of has been that encapsulate all the negative things that people have been saying about Channel Awesome. I gotta say, holy shit, man, this is like a rabbit hole, deep, that gets deeper and deeper the more you search.
Yeah. Much like Chris Chan. It's just down the rabbit hole.
Funny enough, ironically, Down the Rabbit Hole just uploaded their episode of the Spoonie one.
Oh, really? Fun.
Yeah. If you're anyone who hasn't watched Down the Rabbit Hole, I highly recommend checking out that web series. So I'm going to try to share these two links just one more time. They're probably not going to work because, thank you, YouTube. But unless, they don't work. Okay, so yeah, the second one, the Tumblr link didn't work. Going to try again. Nope, didn't work again. So I'll try to add these links after the live stream is over, guys. Okay. Let's see.
Do you want to go on inviting our guest then, since we're an hour in?
Yes. Let's see.
Starting the Q&A?
Yes, let's do that. So, let's see here. Going over to Facebook just to see if he's ready then. Let's see.
Ladies and gentlemen, Doug Walker on our show.
Oh,
No.
Hello,
Just waving his arms like a Muppet.
Let's see. So I just messaged him, just gonna see if he's gonna be ready, and yep, looks like he's ready. So I'm just gonna invite him to the Skype call right now. Let's see. Hopefully this will work, because then we know we've had some difficulties in the past trying to add people. Let's see. Okay, creating group. Oh, let's see. It's the moment of truth.
Is he here?
Hello?
Hey!
Yes, he's here.
Hey, Andres, Brayton, how you guys doing?
Doing
Lovely.
excellent. Hey, who is this mysterious guest of ours for this month's edition of Audio Synchronicity?
Oh, geez, I should have thought of something cool to bring up, right? Okay, let's see. I have the second best Godzilla stand-in behind Chris Martinez's Duragon. Does that help at all for any of our guests?
He's been on more Audio Synchronicity episodes than anybody as a special guest.
This is true. I think I counted 16 the other day. I was looking back at them.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who can that possibly be? Can anyone in our audience guess who it is? Yes, Cody has got it right.
I feel like Dora, just waiting for them with their little mouse to click that answer.
Fantastico!
Oh, thank goodness. I was about to start doing my Bob Dylan song. We don't want that, right?
So yes, you got it right, Cody. It is the one and only Matt Dennion, creator of Atomic Rex and many other kaiju novels. Unsurprisingly here for the billionth time, but you know we love him here every time.
Oh, thank you, guys. It's always a pleasure. I was just in the middle of working on my new novel when you guys called me in, so happy to be here.
Well, look at Mr. Big Shot here.
Damn right. Ironically, working on Operation Megalodon, which will make me a big fish in a small pond, I suppose, right? A very small pond. So,
but hopefully you will be the biggest fish in that pond, in that small pond. The small pond will at least count for something, in that it'll make you look bigger than you actually are.
And that's all that really matters is the appearance of size, right? Not the actual size itself. So.
Right. Let's see. Looking down the list of comments here. Let's see. Going down. Dr. Mifune, no Doug, yelling won't make the sound better. Let's see. Crooked said, is his reverb worse than mine when I voice Augustine? Yes, Crooked. Doug's audio is much worse. Sean Berry says, Pop Quiz Hotshot, a game show that makes the production values of After Last Season look decent.
Oh, man.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, man.
I think I know I've shown Brayton After Last Season. Have I ever showed you
I watched
that?
the whole movie. Oh, my God.
Have I ever shown you, Matt, that movie?
Which movie?
After Last Season, the one with all the cardboard sets. And
I don't think so, no.
Oh.
Easily the worst film of the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's see. P.S. Not sure if you saw what I said, but I said Augustine originally was a skeleton, but it was hard to animate. I can see why. Let's see.
So everybody want to start putting their questions
Yes.
in the comment section?
Yes, you can put your questions in the comment section. Meanwhile, while we look at the comments. We catch up with the comments. Dr. Mifune, no, Doug, we need to pay people for art. Sean Berry, to give James Rolfe more credit, he branched out with other really good shows outside of AVGN, like Lord James and Monster Madness.
Yeah, James Rolfe has been able to evolve with the times and do more shit outside of. I actually like his more movie centric stuff outside of the AVGN. Things nowadays, because he does a lot more. He does a lot different work than Doug Walker does. And
he does show his knowledge of when it comes to like horror movies. Whenever he makes videos that's specifying in that category.
Yeah.
Let's see. No need to scream, Nostalgia Critic. I'm right here. Cody says Monster Madness is James Rolfe's best show, in my opinion. Let's see. I loved Monster Madness. I agree, Cody. Let's see. Sci-Fi Dragon says, even though I don't really watch him, I'll admit that James Rolfe is much better filmmaker / reviewer than Doug Walker ever was. And I think James actually had education in terms of filmmaking, and that's what gave him like an edge over other YouTubers way back in 2006, because no one else's videos looked as professional as his back in the day.
Yeah.
Let's see. You can't go wrong either way. Blah, blah, blah. No, Doug, you need to respect women. I love these comments.
Yeah.
Let's see. Inshoma says, I may be the wacky Benny Hill of kaiju, but even I have to admit that the sexual assault scene is pretty extreme, especially when it's based and forced upon a real person doing the same scene. Sean Barry says, another great reviewer like Brad Jones, despite being friends with Doug and Rob, is very professional when it comes to criticism and stays out of drama. Let's see. Cody says, why did I respect Doug and Rob again? Let's see. Okay, so we finally... in Shoma, Matt Dennion, the other white meat, hooray!
Extremely white for anybody who's ever seen a picture of me.
Severely.
Ghostly white. In fact...
he was guessing Jesus?
Oh, close. Very close.
Let's see. Sean Barry, it's Brad Jones. The hell? Why the fuck am I here? Let's see. Brayton introduced me to... And Shoma said, Brayton introduced me to after last season. I will destroy him one day. Okay, so we got our first question. Crooked Lore said, Matt, who would win, Chimera or a giant-sized bell with a baseball bat?
I think we all know the answer to that is a giant-sized bell with a baseball bat, right? I mean,
yes!
Cat versus fish, right? Yes.
Even though he's technically part whale.
Can you guys hear me?
Part whale. Yeah.
We can hear you, Brayden.
Okay. I was having some audio troubles. I'm sorry.
Okay, next question. Jacob said, hey, Andres, do you remember Titan Maximum? I do remember that show. That was like a super robot parody done by the same people who made Robot Chicken. Did anyone else ever saw this on Adult Swim?
No, what's it called?
A Titan Maximum.
I don't know.
It was basically like, imagine Voltron, except everyone was written to be a huge asshole.
It sounds vaguely familiar.
Let's see. It had potential. It wasn't the best thing ever, but it was kind of somewhat amusing. I just wish there was like a huge cliffhanger, but there was never a second season, which made me really disappointed. So we had like we had Megas XLR, fucking Symbionic Titan, and Titan Maximum, all Cartoon Network shows about giant robots that got canceled far before their time. Let's see. Michael Jackson Helm says, question, all caps, which I do prefer. How hilarious would it be? How hilarious is it that Uwe Boll is trying to sue Universal? Very. Have you guys heard about this? That Uwe Boll... Oh, because...
No, I'm glad you answered for Brayton, though. So
okay, so Uwe Boll, and for those who don't know, he's like this infamous filmmaker who is this infamous filmmaker for making a ton of shit, horrible, unwatchable video game horrible movies, most of them, or the most infamous being his video game adaptations. But a while back he made a movie called Rampage, has nothing to do with the video game, just a movie about a dude who's fed up with society and goes on a rampage, on a literal rampage.
Sort of like Falling Down?
Kind of, I guess, or kind of like imagine Grand Theft Auto if you decide to just like shoot up the whole area instead of doing what you're supposed to do.
Right.
So apparently, from what I've heard, Rampage is actually one of the few good movies he's made. And he's saying like, oh, these people, they're trying to rip me off because they're trying to make Rampage, even though it's fake, it's a bullshit Rampage. And so he's just very salty that... I think he's just desperately trying to get attention, even though it's clear that the video game Rampage movie has nothing to do with his like vigilante, weird, violence-heavy Rampage movie. But he's just doing this just to get attention, and it's really sad and kind of hilarious at the same time. Let's see. Sean Barry says, question, favorite... let's see, I missed it. Let's see. There it is. Question: favorite Akira Kurosawa film and least favorite. I'll let you two answer that because I haven't seen enough to answer that.
I'm pretty sure I already answered this on one of these past live streams we did, but my favorite is Ikiru, and my least favorite is, I don't know. Maybe his last film, Dreams. I like that one though too, but yeah, least favorite's difficult. I'd probably say Dreams.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen enough to comment on that one, so I just have to pass.
Let's see. Our buddy Steve Tao says, when you're the odd man out and have to look online to see who these YouTubers are. I'm assuming Steve is referring to the Channel Awesome people.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sean says,
yeah,
question.
I've been very much getting more so when it comes to movie reviewers. There's a reviewer who I love and follow named Oliver Harper, who does retrospective reviews, which are kind of like mini documentaries.
Right.
Going into depth about the background history of the film, and he puts a lot of effort into his stuff, and he deserves more views, I think, than this Channel Awesome shit, because he produces quality content.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I do want to give a shout out to Ralph the Movie Maker. He's someone I've gone into starting last year. Let's see. He was the guy who introduced me to after last season that I then showed you.
Oh, well, fuck him then.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sean Berry says, question, Brayton, who are some of your influences when it comes to voice acting?
Oh, gosh. Well, Mel Blanc, of course. I'm a Paulson fan. Let me think. I'm also, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name. The voice actor who voices Brain from Pinky and the Brain.
Phil, was it Phil LaMarche?
Phil LaMarche.
Yeah.
LaMarche.
Yes.
Yes. And Billy West, of course, he's
Yeah.
tremendous.
Let's see. How about Tim Curry?
Oh my God. Tim Curry. Yes, Tim Curry.
Transsexual Transylvania.
Yes.
or Jim Cummings.
Oh, he's great too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in everything.
I'm gonna get you, Mickey Mouse. Let's see. Next, do you think? Cody says, do you think Ultraman Powered had potential? A bit, yeah. It did have a more cinematic feel than other Ultraman shows, which was impressive for its TV budget. I think like the only thing that held it back was really the monster fights, because everything was so amateurish in comparison to what you would see from the Japanese shows. Let's see. But yeah, you can clearly tell this was like an American company trying to do something for the first time that Japan has been doing, or Tsuburaya specifically had been doing for like 40 years at that point.
Right.
Let's see. Dr. Mifune says, with the Godzilla anime sequel coming up, I was wondering who would you, any or all three of you, would want to make/direct an animated Godzilla kaiju monster project. So who would you like to see direct an anime Godzilla movie? Let's see. Just for fun, I want to see Mitsutaro Yokoyama? No, maybe that's not his name. I'm trying to see who was the guy who did G Gundam, Giant Robo, the animation, and Mazinger Z anime, and the Tetsujin remake anime. It was Yasuhiro Imagawa. Okay, so Yasuhiro Imagawa, I would love to see him direct a Godzilla movie, simply because I loved all of his like retro-styled Super Robot anime, so I'd love to see him take on like giant monsters. Any of you guys? Like, even if you don't know the director's name, is there like a particular anime that you enjoy that you would like to see, like the people behind that do Godzilla?
Yeah, I'm kind of at a loss for obvious reasons, but I would just for the fucking pure weirdness of how this would turn out. I'd like to see, I'd dream of a Hayao Miyazaki Godzilla film.
Ooh,
yes.
Yeah, actually, Brayton. Yeah,
Fuck
good one.
yeah.
Good one.
Yeah. I want to see him do like a good version of Godzilla's Revenge or something. I think that'd be kind of neat.
Dude, he would be perfect for that. And it's like, they'll turn Godzilla into Totoro.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go.
He'll be the lovable, scary monster.
Or my neighbor Minya. That'd be great.
My neighbor Minya, yes. Let's see. Crooked says, has anyone seen the Deadpool animation series Test Animation? Yes, I have. This was produced by Titmouse, the same people behind the Venture Brothers, and they took the audio, Deadpool's audio from the movie and made this like I don't know, like 3-minute or 4-minute animation of Deadpool taking out a bunch of people at a pier and then fighting a cyborg humanoid gorilla man. And it's just as gory and energetic as you'd expect Deadpool to be. It is very rough because there are portions that you can tell were clearly not finished. It was just like you were just looking at storyboards or colorized storyboards. But I could tell it had some potential there. It just needed a lot of cleaning up because the animation doesn't look smooth at all. But I think,
that
like I
series
said...
is done though, right?
No.
Is done now.
This is only test animation, so maybe this was rejected at a later point. It was only recently leaked, kind of similar to another Deadpool project that was leaked as well. So hey, maybe some good luck will happen there. Let's see. Question. So I am making an original kaiju, and I'm debating giving it goat legs or human legs.
Give it Tina Turner legs.
Oh, good one. Yeah.
Go with that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Question. Franchises, like movie or television series, what you'd want to get in... What? And Shoma says...
that you'd like to get into, I think. Like series that you might want to start following.
Right. I've already mentioned in my earlier video long ago, my tag video, that it was Super Sentai that I wanted to get more involved in. For those who don't know, Super Sentai is the original Japanese incarnation of Power Rangers.
See, for me, it would be JoJo, because you guys talked about it a lot, and I want to kind of see it based on the Batman Ninja coming out. It's like the similar guys, right?
Only for the intro. They only did the intros for the first 3 story arcs of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
But you said it's still worth getting into, right? Like you talked it up a lot.
If you like crazy, batshit, insane action sequences, and you want to put very charismatic characters on top of that, and then put a luscious, wonderful, vivid color scheme on top of that, then I highly recommend... If you like all of that, I recommend JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I
also got to check out more Gundam.
Fuck yeah.
After today, so I'm in for that.
Yes. Maybe we should watch Gundam after this. Let's see. And Brayton, your answer?
Yeah, well, I don't know if it counts because I'm kind of already into it, but a franchise that I'd like to see more of is James Bond, because I'm really only familiar with the 60s and 70s movies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
I haven't quite expanded myself into the Pierce Brosnan era yet, but
Pierce
or even really Daniel Craig.
Okay.
I've only seen Skyfall.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Craig's well worth checking out. Skyfall being great. Pierce Brosnan, GoldenEye, and then maybe skip the rest.
I'm thinking of like a combination of like Charles Bronson and Pierce Brosnan all together.
I know. I legitimately get their last names mixed up.
Let's see. So next question from Sean Berry: when can I expect Waffle Man versus Draco Azul? Make it happen now. Let's see. If we want, we can make this like the sequel. If you and Shoma are interested, Brain, since this is mostly your guys' creation.
We'll see. The fate of Waffle Man at the end of the radio play is sort of in question. So wait until you hear what happens, and then we'll think about it, maybe.
Okay. Let's see. We'll probably go on for another 15 or 20 minutes or so, and we'll cap it off at that. Let's see. At the top of the hour, we'll stop with the questions, I think. Let's see. Just let everyone know in advance. Crooked says, question, with Augustine and Bell being a part of Kaiju vs. Cancer, does that mean they are now Kaiju or Sentai-style supervillains? Sentai-style supervillains like Rita Repulso and, Goldar, I think that would make much sense. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards that. I almost, in the Kaiju versus Cancer universe, see them as like a Mixlick-Pitalik type character. I'm sure I missaid that, but like from Superman, where we can just use them to screw around with different things.
Yeah.
Not necessarily there to do evil towards our monsters, but to put them in like different situations that might be unique and enjoyable.
Right, for the sake of their own entertainment.
Right, yeah, very much so, yeah.
Yeah, it's not that they're evil, it's just mostly their morality is like very different from ours.
Exactly. Right.
Okay, that I can see that working for those characters. Let's see. And Shoma says, question, what are your favorite comedy films? Easily for me would be Blues Brothers. It's my favorite musical and my favorite comedy.
I'll say The Producers, Night at the Opera, and Abbott and Costello Meet the Killer Boris Karloff. It's a very underrated one of their films. It's like in a weird gray area between like their monster crossovers and their regular stuff. But I
really want to strangle these comedians.
Well, it's just such a weird like whodunit mystery, and there's a lot of dark humor in there, which is like uncharacteristic for them, but is pulled off really well. But yeah, that's a real favorite of mine.
For me, it's cliche, but Army of Darkness. I just can't get enough of that movie.
Yeah.
And Hot Fuzz. Hot Fuzz is great too.
Oh, that is great. The Cornetto trilogy is amazing.
Yeah, the whole trilogy really, but Hot Fuzz would be the highlight for me of that series.
Let's see. Jacob said, who would win? Yes or yes?
Always would win.
The answer is always.
Yep.
Let's see. Jordan says, question, what Ultraman shows have you seen besides Tiga, and what do you think of them? I've seen the original. I love it. I've seen Ultra 7. Loved it. I've seen a bit of Ultraman Max. I like it so far. I've seen Mebius. I loved it. I've seen several of the movies, which I've enjoyed for the most part, with the exception of Ultraman the Next, which has been eh. I've seen Ultraman X. I loved it. And I've seen a good chunk of Ultraman Geed, which I've been really digging. So, yeah. Oh, and I've seen the Australian Ultraman, what's it called? Towards the Future, which was eh. So, really, like, the Ultraman Towards the Future and Ultraman Powered have been, like, the two I've been dissatisfied with. Everything else I've enjoyed for the most part, with the exception of the next Ultraman the Next movie, which is, like, in that middle ground. Let's see. DeMichael Jackson Helm says, question, have any of you seen The Boy and the Beast? Or no.
No.
Crooked says, how come there is now Power Ranger groups who are just odd colors like brown, orange, and plaid? Hey man, are you judging Power Rangers based on their colors? Are you judging Power Rangers based on the color of their costumes?
Yeah, come on, Crooked. Expand your Power Ranger rainbow, for goodness sake.
Come on, it's 2018 already, Crooked.
Yeah, cheese and rice.
Let's see. Question. Brayton, I too love Oliver Harper, but do you think he should do more retrospectives of films that were made before the 80s? He's kind of stuck in the 80s, 90s era.
I think that'd be nice, but the 80s, 90s thing is his pretty much his niche, and he's admitted in the past he still needs to see more classic films because before his time. I'd love to see that though. Like I said, he's one of my favorite out there, and I can't get enough of his shit. So make more of it. Mm-hmm. He does great commentaries too with a couple of friends of his, which are really hilarious on films that were made prior to the 80s and 90s. So check those out.
Cool. Sean Berry says, a question, what is your favorite Studio Ghibli film? Ooh, that's a tough one.
Oh, I'm going to go, sorry to cut you off, Princess Mononoke, because I'd seen some of the other ones, and I was like, got it for my kids, like, oh, let's watch this, not realizing it was like a Lovecraftian horror thing. Yeah. So it scared the crap out of them, and it made a great memory for me. So, throw that out there.
Let's see. I love Mononoke. It's quite violent for a Miyazaki movie.
Yeah.
Either that or Spirited Away, because of my nostalgia for that movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the only two I've seen are Spirited Away and My Neighbor Totoro, and I much more preferred Spirited Away for me personally.
I figured.
Yeah.
Because nothing against Totoro, it's just a very simple movie that just relies a lot more on charm than anything else.
Yeah.
Let's see. The Michael Jackson Helm said, question, have you ever got tired of Godzilla, and if so, what made you got back into it? I never got tired of Godzilla, but there was a portion of my life where my close friends in elementary school were not into Godzilla anymore, so I kind of just went with the flow. But it wasn't until like maybe when I discovered Toho Kingdom in like the mid to late 2000s, I got back into Godzilla because now I was learning more information about Godzilla and more movies I never even heard about. I mean, especially when I never even knew there were sequels to Gamera Guardian of the Universe at that time.
Yeah, for me it happened when I saw a movie called Godzilla Planet of Monsters. That totally got me up.
It's just put in the background. What's it called? Persecution of the masses. That's like the sound of your fandom dying.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
No, but
And
yeah,
you warned me.
If I die, who will know?
No, yeah, I've absolutely gotten tired of Godzilla at points in my life, but more so recently with I hate to be that guy again, but Shin Godzilla really put me off from the kaiju genre. After I saw that, I was really really hurt by it. It affected me, and I was completely burnt out on kaiju and I'm recovering. I'm just recently recovering from it because that's why I like doing this podcast, which isn't because it's fun to talk about. And I love the genre, but it's I want to talk about some more things too. There's other shit that I find entertaining, which is why I like this podcast because it's not kaiju centric. It sort of encapsulates everything.
Right.
But no, yeah, absolutely. But I'm getting my groove back though, as it were.
Brayton got his groove back.
Yeah,
right.
Let's see. There's a lot of people here, a lot of questions. Sean Berry says, what are your thoughts on the film Unforgiven, directed and starring Clint Eastwood? Never saw it.
Oh my God,
it's
see
classic,
it.
right? Yeah. Hey, what else is there to say about it? What are your thoughts on Jaws, right? It's the same type of thing.
I assume it's good.
I feel it's kind of one note.
Yeah.
The shark still looks fake.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sci-Fi Dragon says, what do you think of the Storytime animators? I have no idea who that is. Sorry.
Okay, good. Me neither, yeah.
Let's see. Question by Cody says, has there been anything about Godzilla, both the character and the lore, that you've always thought wasn't explored enough, if at all, that you've always wanted to see explored? Godzilla's goddamn species.
Where's Mrs. Godzilla?
I don't need to know that in particular, but I do want to know, like, what was Godzilla's life before then, or what was his family like? What does the species do?
We already know about Mrs. Godzilla though because of Godzilla Land. So I guess we have.
True.
Yeah.
I've always thought it interesting that in most continuities there's two Godzillas that were around for a long time. Like usually the 54 is its own thing that's killed, and then a second Godzilla shows up, like in the Showa and the Heisei era, and a few others do that too. So what the hell were the two Godzillas doing before that?
Two Godzillas? What does this mean?
What could it mean?
Yes.
The Earth people must be confused.
Let's see. What was it? Let's see. I missed my place. Okay, here we go. Manda, who came in very late, said, "Oh shit, I didn't know you were going to have one of these tonight. I was expecting one of these Saturday." You thought it was Saturday, but it was actually Friday!
You thought wrong!
Saturday for you in your fictional land of Japan, is it not?
You were expecting someone
We usually do these on Saturday, though, so that's understandable why you would expect that.
Like, you were expecting someone else on Friday, but it was me, Andres! In a pathetic attempt at a JoJo reference. Let's see. Reasons for being late to the party. Just got done watching Pacific Rim Uprising. I don't get the hate behind it.
Oh.
Good on you.
Have you seen it yet, Brayton?
I've seen it.
Yeah,
that's it.
I get the hate behind it. Let me say that.
Let me guess, because everyone has talked shit about this. As someone who hasn't seen the movie yet, did you also hate what they did to Newt? Without telling us what happened.
Yeah.
I didn't. Well, okay. That was a factor in the things that I hated about it.
Okay.
It's kind of bullshit, but whatever.
Because that's what
kind of a shit move.
That's what fans and non-fans alike have been saying. So I'm like really curious as to what the hell that is.
Yeah.
But I want to see the movie.
Yeah,
I won't spoil it for you on this.
I don't want to spoil it for you either.
Did you hate it, Matt?
I didn't hate it. It was. I thought it was a unique way to take things. I won't say good or bad, but unique, so you can figure it out for yourself
All right.
when you can see it. But I didn't necessarily
Put that
hate
on the back of the DVD.
it. Yeah, that'll make some sales.
Let's see. Cody says, question, did you put the cookie down?
I never put the cookie down.
I never had a cookie to begin with. Let's see. Crooked says, well, look who is crossing over with everyone. I guess I'm not enough. Not sure what you were referring to there when you posted that comment. Primal Graphenixsaurus Rex said, what is your favorite Spider-Man villain? Ooh. I'm going to say Venom because I'm a sucker for like dark mirror versions of the hero.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Spider-Man. Yeah, I have to think about that one.
I don't know. I've always liked Doc Ock.
Yeah, I'm
he's
leaning.
great.
I'm leaning Doc Ock too. Although it's hard not to go Green Goblin because of like the personal connection there.
Yeah.
So I was kind of again cliche, but
Mm-hmm.
it makes it nice that it's like a Peter enemy as much as it's a Spider-Man enemy.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Let's see. Joel Davis says, would you ever want to see someone do an Avengers Infinity War trailer, but with all the Godzilla kaiju? Who would be who? I mean, sure, I guess.
David probably has one in the works. He does that kind of shit.
Yeah. And I can't even begin to think who would be who in that situation.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. Can we just replace it with Tyler's work that he's doing for us right now? That works better for me.
Always,
anything,
which
right?
we will be teasing at the very end.
All right, good.
Let's see. Crooked says Augustine was always a chaotic neutral. Bell was just in it for Augustine. Cody says, Brayton, you have no idea how much I love you for showing Abbott and Costello appreciation.
Yo, you're welcome. They're my favorite thing.
Amanda says, question, what movie confuses you? All of them. A movie you
All
think
the
that is-
movies.
that is just okay at the end of the day, but for some reason movie critics and movie-going audiences like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so a movie that you thought was okay, but everyone else loved.
Okay, I got two.
Okay.
One is Vertigo, and I love Alfred Hitchcock, but it just never left an impact on me the way that it has so many other people.
You don't have an appreciation for the main actor, you know.
Right. It made me. It put me on the bad side of Jimmy Stewart because that was a real story that happened between us.
Jimmy Stewart wants his girl. He wants his girlfriend to dress up like his dead girlfriend. You see?
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that?
No,
I want to love, Clarence. I want love.
No, but yeah, that one and 2001: A Space Odyssey is another one that I appreciate, but it just I don't know. It's not my thing.
Yeah, for me, it's The Godfather. I know a lot of people love it. I just think it's okay whenever I watch it.
It's okay, yeah.
I don't hate it, but
let's see. Ooh, one. Okay, maybe this is definitely gonna be have to be a Godzilla movie because I remember there was a lot back in the day. There was a lot of hype for Godzilla. I've noticed a lot of people love Godzilla versus Mothra.
Yeah.
And I see
Wait, do you
why.
mean Godzilla versus Mothra or Mothra versus Godzilla? They're two different movies.
Mothra versus Godzilla.
okay.
Yes.
Maybe, because it's like, I never fell in love with Mothra versus Godzilla as much as everyone else. Nowadays, I appreciate all the hard work and dedication put into that movie, but I was never in love with it as much as everyone else does. Everyone likes to see that movie as like the pinnacle of the Showa era, and I can see why, but it just never grabbed onto me as much as it did with other fans. Maybe because as a kid, I always hated the fact that Godzilla lost to two caterpillars by the end. But again, I appreciate that they were trying to do this whole David and Goliath thing for the climax of the movie. I appreciate it, but there's still that part of me that urged me to hate it at the end.
Yeah, if we're going Godzilla films, I'll say Biollante for me.
Okay.
I really appreciate the visuals and everything, but I in no way am over the moon about it as the entire internet seems to be.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was pretty much finished.
All right, another example is the Power Rangers movie. I know there's a lot of people who are in love with that. I know there are hardcore fans who love that movie, and I'm like, eh.
I'm not a hardcore fan by any stretch of the fucking imagination, but I think it's an enjoyable B movie. It's pretty
Yeah,
fun.
I'm kind of with Brayton on that one. Like, I think I set my expectations low and it exceeded them, so I felt
Yeah,
pretty
fucking
pleased with it.
Ivan Ooze is
Yeah.
the greatest thing
No,
ever
no,
put
no,
on
no, no,
film.
no, not the '95 movie. Last year's movie.
Oh, okay.
Last year's
Sorry.
Power. See, that's what.
I don't know.
sucks
I
when
don't
you
know
have-
what that is. I've never seen that.
I'm talking about the. I still love it. For 1995 Power Rangers movie and all of its problems. No, it's last year's Power Rangers movie that you have a lot of hardcore fans saying this is the greatest movie ever. This is just what I wanted. And for him, like, it's okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't go greatest film ever, but
Yeah.
I
Let's see.
wouldn't even say it's the greatest film of last year, and I haven't seen it.
Okay, so we've reached the I want to say the 2-hour point or the hour and a half point. So we'll stop the questions right here. So if you have a question, type it in now and we'll go through them. Otherwise, no more questions from here on out. We'll just read whatever is left here. Let's see. Sean says, question, what's a film remake you like more than the original, The Thing?
Yes. I was just about to say
yeah,
that.
yeah, I'd say that's a pretty classic one.
And It. I'll just say It too to pick a recent one. I like the remake better than the mini series, I guess.
Okay.
Then again, Tim Curry. I wish Tim Curry was in the remake because then it would be perfect.
Yeah.
Right. Too bad he's had his health problems that would prevent him.
Yeah.
Let's see. Manda says, "What movie confused you philosophically speaking?"
Which way they walk? No. Enough said. Mic drop.
Which direction doth hither from?
Yes.
Let's see. I wanted to go the easy route and just say Evangelion. Specifically, let's see. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, just unplug my headphones for a second there. I want to say maybe the last Evangelion movie, because it was such a radical departure from the first two movies, especially the last movie, which had a very positive, action-oriented, very thrilling, how would I say, tone. And then the third movie just kind of does the opposite of all of that, making me think, what was like the point? What was the filmmaker? What was Hideaki Anno trying to tell us with that radical shift in tone? So let's see. Primal Graphenosaurus Rex said, question, what is your favorite Showa Heisei Millennium Godzilla film? Let's see. Showa, Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. Heisei, I want to say... maybe Godzilla 84. And... Millennium? Maybe Godzilla 2000. Possibly, potentially. You guys?
Go ahead, Brayton, if you want.
Showa is versus Mechagodzilla. Heisei is 84 and the second half of Godzilla versus Destroyer.
Okay.
And then then maybe my Millennium favorite. I'm not saying this is the best by any means, but because I would put GMK in that spot for me personally.
Oh, I should.
I
should. Never mind. I put GMK over 2000.
But I have to, by favorite, meaning that I go back to it and watch it over again just to have a fun time. I have to admit it's Final Wars. I'm sorry. It's just
Meanwhile, Patrick is like crying in the corner.
I'm saying, hey, you know what? Patrick likes Godzilla's Revenge and Space Godzilla, so I get a free space on this. I get a free pass.
I remember.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go Destroy All Monsters for Showa. For Heisei, I might have to go Mechagodzilla, I guess. And for Millennium, definitely GMK. That's like by a long shot GMK for me.
Yeah, don't be saying if you think saying shit about like 54 is bad, don't be saying shit about GMK either, because on the internet they'll crucify you for that.
I know.
Let's see. Cody says, question, what in your opinion is the worst kaiju movie you've ever seen? I'm gonna go with Gamera Super Monster.
Does that really even count as a kaiju movie, though?
Exactly. That's why if it makes you even question it, then yes.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
I'm gonna go with Zarkor the Invader. That's a terrible.
And that came
Nice
from your
pull.
hometown, right?
From my hometown?
I thought you're from Jersey.
I am. I have. If it did, we're not taking credit for it. I
Yeah,
don't know.
because that was a movie made in Jersey. You didn't? Did you know that it was made in Jersey?
I learned something new.
It was made in Old Jersey, not New Jersey.
Yeah, thank you, Brayton. Yeah.
It's kind of like Old Testament, New Testament kind of thing. We're not acknowledging this.
Yeah.
Neon Jersey Zarkor. New Jersey.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
My worst is and for always and forever will be Rebirth of Mothra 2 is the worst shit I've ever.
Yeah.
Let's see. Crook and Lore says Power Ranger Lives Matter / hashtag White Power Ranger.
Oh,
Wow.
my gosh. Yeah, you put that Ranger in there.
Let's see. I also love how like the theme song for the White Ranger would be White Ranger Tiger Power. It's like you're getting scarily close to a controversy there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dr. Mufuni says, question, I've never seen an Ultraman series. Which one do you recommend considering my favorite Godzilla movie tends to be from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 2000s? I would recommend Ultraman X because it's just like, it feels like a very great standalone series. It's only like 26 episodes long, so it's very short, concise, to the point. There is that toy gimmick there, but it doesn't hinder the plot at all, and it still looks good. However, if you want to go away from like the toyetic nature of the recent Ultraman shows, I highly recommend getting into Ultraman Mebius because it's a sequel to the Showa series. So the first half of the series, it just reintroduces you to the world of Ultraman by having one new guy, and he's here, and it's like, oh, this is like the first Ultraman in like 20 years. And when he arrives on Earth, you get to learn the main characters and Ultraman Mebius himself. But by the second half, they start introducing the Showa Ultraman because, we're in that continuity. And they each, help the new guy by imparting their wisdom onto him. So it's a great way to get into Ultraman, understanding the basics of the show. And you get a neat introduction to the older Ultraman of the Showa era. So that's my recommendation. Ultraman Mebius. Mebius, I think. It's supposed to be, it's basically a Japanese bastardization of Mobius, because Mebius's motif is the Mobius Infinity Strip. Let's see. Graphenixaurus Rex says, question, is Escaflowne relevant in Japan, or is it Gamera... Question, is Escaflowne relevant in Japan, or is it Gamera over there? Neither Gamera nor Escaflowne are really all that prevalent from what I've seen. Barely neither character I've seen any sort of love or attention to at all here in Japan. King Brutal says, relevant question. How come this show keeps buffering on my Hulu account despite 92% signal strength on my PS4? It angers the mighty one. I don't know why, King Brutal, but I just hope to God that the signal strength increases, because I certainly don't want to suffer your wrath. Let's see. Manda says, question, what movie confused you? What movie so incompetent that you wonder how it was ever made in the first place?
Oh my god.
After last season.
Yes.
Any of the Transformers movies? Right?
Yeah.
After
see. Last season, The Creeping Terror, which is still my worst movie ever made. And Shin Godzilla. Yeah, let's go with that too.
Monster Planet.
Monster Planet, yeah.
Let's see. And Shoma says, I gotta leave, everyone. I got a project for Wikizilla that needs to be done by Sunday. Thank you all for having me. You're welcome, Shoma. Thanks for having you here. Crooked Lore says, also, I meant, why aren't there no odd-colored Power Rangers? Ah, okay, now that makes sense. Now you're being more progressive for the 2018 world we're living in, Crooked.
Get with the time, man. You're on the wrong side of history.
You're on the wrong side of history. Spider-Man, yeah. Let's see. Why aren't there normal colors? Because blame Japan for that. Because in Japan they don't like things that are different and scary. Now let's see. Dr. Mifune. Question 2. Thoughts on the 1998 Mighty Joe Young remake? Personally, I think it's one of the few remakes that's better than the original and probably the second best giant gorilla movie after Kong 33. It's been decades since I've seen... It's now literally been 2 decades since I've seen Mighty Joe Young in 98.
Yeah, I know. There was no, like, cool lion fight scene in that one, right? Like in the original? I don't know.
I remember enjoying
The
the
guy
special
gets his
effects.
thumb, like,
bit off,
bit
yeah.
off something.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, he wore a glove to replace his, like, had a fake thumb. And when he died, his, like, black fake thumb glove was hanging on to a wire, I think. That's all I remember from the movie, but I remember the special effects looking very good. I want to remember them as looking very good because I'm afraid of them aging horribly and go back. But I am curious about seeing it again. Let's see. Cody says, he says goodbye, Anshoma. Sci-Fi Dragon says, question, Andres, are Pocky Sticks popular in Japan? It's prevalent, but it's not popular. It's like Lay's chips, Nobody ever really pays attention to Lay's chips. They just see it in America as this constant snack that you will always see anywhere you go. That's what Pocky Sticks are. They're around, but no one pays attention to them. They just expect it to be there. King Brutal says, is Japan popular in Japan? Oh, yes. If Japan loves anything, it's themselves. They kind of has this mentality where they see themselves as... It's like the reason why they're afraid of change, because they think that their way is the best way. And that it needs no changing.
That's how you progress as a society, of course. As a society.
Let's see. Cody Bratch says, are you popular in Japan?
Are we popular anywhere?
Listen, I will tell you, Andres is extremely popular in Japan. Anytime that I talk to him via Skype, the police are always outside his window. I'm not even lying. Right?
It's true.
He's the local entertainment in Geek.
Yeah. Every time he calls me up, there's a police siren going on out back.
They're looking for me. They really want me.
Yeah.
Calling all cars. Looking for a white
Calling all
Mexican.
fighter planes.
Fighter planes.
Answer.
Let's see. I know how you feel. Brayton Shin Godzilla was so great it hurts me too. Said.
Oh yeah, I could say if you were a masochist, you'd enjoy it. Yeah.
It hurts so good.
Yes. Kill the character more. I need more.
Let's see. Primal Graphenosaurus Rex. Question for Brayton. Which do you prefer, Evangelion or Shin Godzilla? No other answers than those. So the train rails in eyes do not count.
Oh man. Yeah, I haven't seen Evangelion because why? And I've only seen Shin Godzilla twice, and I've disliked it both times. Once in English and once in Japanese. I watched it in the theaters, and then I watched the dub just so I could be confused in my own home language. So yeah.
Let's see. Jordan says, question, do you know that Ultraman the Next had a hilariously awful English dub? Yes! I saw Gorazard's review of it, and I said, no. Let's see. Okay, Crooked says, what does Godzilla species do? They only just kill other monsters and attack Japan, then go to sleep. Pretty much that's all. That's what I do on the weekend. Yeah. Any problem with that? Let's see. Sci-Fi Dragon. Storytime animators are YouTube animators that focus on their own personal mundane stories that are supposed to be quirky and weird. The most well-known are The Odd Ones Out and Jaden Animations. I've heard of The Odd Ones Out, but I've never seen his work. Question. Most versatile actors, actresses, in your opinion? Ooh.
Brayton Connor. He was fantastic in the promo video.
Let's see. Versatile actor. I want to say Patrick Stewart. He can be both serious and stupid at the same in any project he's been in.
I think who surprised the hell out of me was Jason Sudeikis after we watched him in Colossal. I never liked him.
Yeah, that's true. That's
so
true.
Much.
Yeah. He's mostly a comedic guy, and then he turned out to be the spoiler alert because it's a year-old movie. The bad guy. Let's see. I understood that reference. Let's see. Question to Matt, says Jacob Kaiju. Are you excited for Rampage?
I'm very excited for Rampage. It just looks like a fun movie. I don't know if the story will be any good, but I kind of don't care because there's no story to the game. So as long as they're like wrecking buildings and they better eat people, just saying that, and beating the hell out of each other, I'll be happy.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
And the Rock's in it, and he's like the
right.
He's unable to be disliked in anything. He's the most likable person on the planet, so he's fine.
Let's see. Primal Graphenosaurus Rex says, question, is Dan Kuga relevant in Japan, or is it Gamera? Why do you keep saying Gamera? Nobody gives a shit about Gamera in Japan. Dan Cougar or Dan Kuga? I've seen some toys of him at hobby shops, but again, I don't really see him anywhere outside of those, like, hobby shop places. Question, favorite Charlie Chaplin film and why? I've only seen one, that was The Kid. I loved it. I cried my eyes out. I love it.
I'm more of a Buster Keaton fan than a Charlie Chaplin fan, but I don't know. I just find him more. I prefer the subtlety of Buster Keaton to the. But no, there's City Lights is a great movie with Charlie Chaplin that I really like. What's another one? The Great Dictator, of course, is a great one. That's a speaking.
I've been meaning to see that one.
Yeah,
I haven't seen any. I have to check some out and open my horizons a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
Spooky Bone says, question, so I asked this girl for her number and she gave me her dad's. I don't know what to do. Help me. No.
Don't ask us for help.
Do you want to ask us? Do we look like the kind of people who are proficient at giving this sort of advice? I mean, I know one of us is married here, but that was only out of sheer luck.
Damn right.
Andres loves robots. I love men, and Matt loves his wife.
Yeah. I would say, probably run. I'm not going to call someone's dad. Maybe she's got something else going on there. Yeah, don't call that person. There's other fish in the sea, man.
Let's see. Question, would you mind seeing an American Gamera movie? I would not mind.
I don't know why. Yeah.
Let's see. Graphenosaurus Rex said, question, is Brave Raideen relevant in Japan, or is it Gamera over there?
Nobody cares about Gamera.
Nobody cares about Gamera. Nobody cares about Raideen. He's old. Old characters are not popular in Japan. Unless they are getting rebooted.
Unless they get nostalgia.
Yeah, there is a thing as nostalgia if it's capitalized upon. If it's not being capitalized upon, the population will forget about it. That's why Ultraman has continued to this day, and other such older characters. In fact, people didn't give a shit about Godzilla until Hideaki Anno came out with Shin Godzilla. Then Japan started saying, oh yeah, Godzilla's a thing. They need to constantly be reminded that their favorite shows existed. Let's see. King Brutal says, question, could the Connor pick up a solid victory against you in a ladder match while wearing that suit and tie?
No, I think I'd just stand on top of Andres' head to reach the belt at the top. I won't even need a ladder. But that being said, I have a fear of heights, so he has that advantage over me.
I'm very glad you're the wrestling fan out of the three of us.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sean Berry says, question, Brayton, what do you think of Federico Fellino, and what have you seen from what you've seen so far?
I think you had a typo. It's Federico Fellini, Sean. But yes, great.
Always.
Always.
Let's see. Crooked Lore Production says, Andres, my creation and your future job is 70% complete. For those who don't know what he's referring to a visual novel that he is working on that I am currently editing.
Fun.
Let's see. Question, or he's talking about a comic that he's also working on. Graphenosaurus Rex says, question on Bioplanet Wu. Wu? I've never heard of that.
The fucking Yeti from Ultraman?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the only I can think of. Yeah.
It's the only Wu.
Does he fight Dodongo in a battle to the death? I would watch that.
The only other Wu I know is Michael Jackson's Woo! Let's see.
Or Ric Flair, right?
Woo!
Yes, right.
Flair.
Woo!
Let's see. Lydia says, question, what do you guys think about them pushing back Dark Phoenix and New Mutants?
I think it doesn't bode well for those movies, right?
It's surprising. I'm not sure. I have no idea what they want to do. I don't know if maybe the Disney merger is affecting them, but I certainly hope not, because they seem kind of interesting depending on from what we've seen so far in the recent X-Men movies. Let's see.
White Ranger, Tiger Power, Jesus. They are 2 words away from having themselves a problem.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sean Berry says, last question, what tokusatsu film have you not seen that you really want to see? Stay cool as hell, guys. Good night. What tokusatsu film I have seen, but I have not seen, but really want to see. I think I've pretty much seen all the ones I want to see. Let's see. I guess any of the recent Ultraman movies that I missed out on, like Ultraman X the movie, and any other let's see. Yeah, I guess Ultraman X the movie. I haven't seen that, but I really want to, and I will not see that atrocious dub brought on by William Winkler Productions. Because I hated what they did to Guy King, and I don't want to support them by seeing what they did to Ultraman.
I've never seen Atragon. I'd like to see Atragon.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never seen that either, actually. I've never been able to track down a copy of it.
Oh, you know what? I've never seen the Magic Serpent. No, well, not the Magic Serpent. What was it?
Oh my God, I've
seen
it.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've never seen. What was it? I've never seen the Three Treasures. I've never seen it in full, so I do want to see that.
Yeah, okay.
Just so I can say I've seen it. I heard it wasn't perfect, but again, I just want to see it so I can say that I've seen every giant monster-related movie that Toho has made, even if the monster in said movie only appeared in one scene. Let's see.
Oh, and that being said, too, I've never seen Orochi the Eight-Headed Dragon in full.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I hear mixed things about that too, but again, just to see it for the sake of seeing it.
Yeah, worth seeing once, I'd say, but don't, you know.
Let's see. Do you Destroya is do you think Destroya is overrated as being one of Godzilla's toughest opponents? No.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
Yeah. he kind of curb stomped Godzilla's ass in that movie. It was kind of sad.
Let's see, and I did read that comment. Cody says, "Fun fact: Ron Wasserman hated having to do White Ranger Tiger Power. It's such a repetitive song, nowhere near as badass as like Go Green Ranger Go."
Had Randy Newman do it.
Goldar's gonna get you tonight. Destroy the Power Rangers and destroy the Earth.
Oh my God.
Don't
What's come over you? What's
Lord
possessed
Zed
you?
Put a spell on your mind.
That's what happened. Lord Zed has now controlled me into singing the Green Ranger song.
Oh my God.
Let's see. Cody says I loved Ultraman X. Jordan says I want to watch Ultraman X. Let's see. Cody's talking. There's blah blah blah. Some talking there. Primal Graphenixsaurus answered no because no one cares for Gamera. Crooked says
Nobody gives two fucks for Gamera.
Crooked Lord says, question, do cat girls eat the face of their owners when they die? Asking for a friend. Didn't that happen one time a couple years ago?
I don't know.
That there was a
that happened to Crooked Lore? Is that what happened to him?
There was like an old lady who died, but she was all alone, so her body was just like decomposing and mummifying there for a while. And people like started having like complaining about a bad smell coming from her house. And when the police investigated her house, they noticed that the cats were eating her corpse.
Oh my lord!
Now that's a story we should have. We
should have led with that.
Started. Yeah. So let's see. Crooked says, Bell's the last comment, speaking as Bell, with his schizophrenia taking over. Let's see. Jacob says, I have Atragon on DVD. Good for you. Cody says, sticking around until the end in hopes of hearing about the updates for Kaiju vs. Cancer. And Crooked says, damn it, I will never be the last comment. Okay, now we have gone to the very end. Okay, so now we've gone to the very end of the comments, so we'll finish things off by showing you guys a sneak preview of the next t-shirt design brought to us by the great Tyler Souls. If anyone who doesn't know, go to, his name is spelled Tylersoles. And that is Tyler Tyler Sowles, Souls. So go on Facebook, like his page, which is Tyler Souls Art. Go on Facebook, go on DeviantArt, follow his work there. So here is the finished pencils for what will be the next t-shirt design of our Kaiju versus Cancer ongoing charity, and bam, there we go. So I've just put it on OBS. I'm checking on the live stream to see when it is going to show up. So yes, we are going to take a look at this. So this is actually from what this was originally Matt's idea. So would you like to explain what the inspiration behind this like group image it was inspired by?
Sure. Well, you and I, we kicked the idea around a little bit, and I brought up to maybe doing the old VHS DVD cover art of Destroy All Monsters, which just looks really great with Ghidorah kind of in the background, Godzilla in front of him, and then Rodan, Baragon, Anguirus, Mothra, and Minya all, kind of mixed in there. But the art always looked really cool. So, I had the idea and I ran it by you and you said it was great. And thankfully, Tyler stepped up and is just doing a kick-ass job on this, as you guys can see. To not only replace, I was really just thinking of doing like a replacements of the characters on the original art with our characters. And you were like, no, dude, we got to throw like a dozen more characters in there, which was a good idea. So we bulked it up like
we got to put all the monsters. No, we couldn't get everyone's monsters, but I think we got some of our most popular monsters, or at least we got monsters representing our most popular artists. I think. Excuse me there.
Yeah,
and go ahead.
Jeremy Robinson's on there with Kronos.
Our first depiction of Kronos outside his book cover.
Yeah, which I think looks really cool. Tyler, I'm not sure if he did or not, but when I look at that, I see like a little bit of the Crater Lake monster, which I think is a great interpretation for Kronos. Mm-hmm. And I love the way he got, and you pointed this out too, Durantis with the Frank Parks King Kaiju, so it looks like it's 3 heads coming from one kind of thing.
Right.
Reaching out there was just totally kick-ass. But we're going to put the tagline on there, Destroy All Cancer at the top, like Destroy All Monsters. And then at the bottom, add on heroic mechs and monsters fighting their deadliest foe ever, which again will be like a slight switch up from the cover art of the DVD, which is like, monsters united fighting their greatest foe ever, something like that. But we're going to switch it up to say that. But I think this is going to be an awesome shirt when it's all finished and complete.
Right.
And I think, what do we count on? Just like 12 different contributors are
let's see.
Represented here?
So we have Kronos, which is the Mosasaur like monster from Jeremy Robinson. We have Snazzy Chapeau from the Omniviewer.
Right.
We have Dorugon, who is from Christopher Martinez. We have Thesaurus from your brother, Mark Dennion. Crystar, who is from from Denny Roth. Maruga, or I think that's Maruga, who is what?
I think it's Mayugra. I could be wrong. Zach, if you're listening, correct us.
Who is made by Zach Cole. We have Kadoja, who is from Keith Foster. Rock, which is the cyborg bird from your book, Operation Rock. We have Durantis, Tyler's own monster. King Kaiju, like the main villain from the crossover you and Frank are doing.
Right.
And we have Robot God Akamatsu from James Biggie and Frankie B. Washington, and Draco Azul by some nerdy whitewashed Mexican that, who's not really all that popular.
Yeah, I don't know his name. Did we mention Crystar by Denny?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah. So we originally, like you said, we planned on having like an original cast of monsters, but then we started adding more characters on the side to fill up that space. And I feel like Tyler was able to beautifully recreate that like team up pose with Dorugon being at the very center, representing Godzilla. The 3 heads there, the way the King Kaiju and Durantis are positioned, and then just kind of fill in that extra space with more monsters at the bottom, like the lower level with the smaller characters, and then top it off with giant robots, because who doesn't love giant robots? And I do really love the poses that Tyler came up with, much more interesting than the original sketches he did for RGA and Draco Azul, where both he initially planned to have them like flying towards the audience. Here it's like
this looks better.
In this one they're like hovering in these awesome like action poses, very like anime-esque poses, I think.
Mm-hmm. And what I really like is the first shirt we did with Atomic Rex and Dorugon was them fighting. Chris did that for the comic we did a while ago, but we definitely want to get Chris featured first, given his current situation. But in this one, because Andres, you and I were big about not necessarily always having 2 monsters fighting, but more teaming up, like Cancer, and you couldn't get better than this. Like we joked before about replacing the Avengers with Kaiju. Like I don't know. I think this is actually cooler than having Godzilla monsters. That we have all these original characters from.
Yeah. It's just like an explosion of originality. It's like, holy shit,
Yeah.
who are? I hopefully it'll make people say, holy shit, who are these cool looking characters? I want to know more about it, because a lot of people, they do love Godzilla, but I've noted that there is a good portion of Godzilla fans who are always looking for some new kaiju goodness to gobble up. Like, recently we had Pacific Rim, Colossal, Rampage. Anytime a new kaiju movie comes out that isn't Godzilla, the fans go crazy for that. So hopefully it's that same amount, as much as we understand that, Godzilla fans are always going to prefer Godzilla over anything else. Hopefully there is that portion of fans who are very interested in getting into these new characters, and hopefully with such amazing art like this will be a great introduction for many of these original characters for a new audience.
Right, and they run the gamut. We have characters represented from novels, from comic books, from children's books, from
YouTube mascots.
YouTube mascots, right. We really run the gamut of what could be creative, different uses for monsters here.
Mm-hmm, so. Yeah. And, I've kind of stressed this in the past, but, it's always great to support independent art, independent creations out there, especially when, there's a lot of people with a lot of imagination that just want to get their stories and ideas out there. And I feel like the more we can support these people, the more we can improve this entertainment industry. Again, many people have complained over and over again of how there's a lack of creativity and originality in the entertainment business. But, hopefully our listeners can go out there and make a difference and support these people if they like these ideas to begin with, which, thanks to Kaiju vs. Cancer, it'll give them that opportunity to have that chance.
Right, and I know we've said this before too, but by supporting Kaiju vs. Cancer specifically, proceeds go to St. Jude Children's Cancer Research Hospital. Mm-hmm. You can buy a shirt, money goes there. You can purchase a shirt and send it to St. Jude.
If you don't want the shirt for yourself.
Right, and lift the kid's spirit down there. I think we have 12 days left on the first shirt. I just posted that today. I think it's 12 days. The Atomic Rex and Duragon. But hopefully this one's up right after that one goes off, because Tyler's really moving quickly on it. So
yes, he is. Yeah, he's getting back into the swing of things. I'm very happy for him about that. From the very get-go, I've posted the links to Chris's GoFundMe. They've thankfully they've reached over their goal of $5,000. But if you want to continue supporting him, please do so. The Kaiju vs. Cancer campaign is still on Custom Ink. I'm just going to check that right now to see how many days we have left. Just to be sure. Yep, we have 12 days to go. We have sold 21 shirts, and we have raised $150 total. So thank you very much, everybody who has supported us so far. And for anyone, the links is right there in the description of this very live stream. And you can follow our Facebook page. Oop, I guess I forgot to add a link for the Facebook page, but I'll do that afterwards. And of course, I left a link for Brayton's channel, and I will add a link for for Matt Dennion once this is all finished. And
yay!
Let's see. A lot of people are responding really nicely to the pencils. Jordan says, late for saying this, but I love Draco Azul's design. Thank you very much, Jordan. That means a lot to me. Let's see. Cody says, new kaiju can only be a good thing, especially when they're used for such a fantastic cause as Kaiju vs. Cancer. Thank you very much, Cody. Please let everyone know that. Crooked Lord says, I bought 2 shirts. Thank you very much, man. The 2 shirts make you twice as awesome.
Absolutely.
Let's see. So yeah, it looks like we have just about wrapped up. So we are approaching the end of episode 7 of Audio Synchronicity. Would you two guys like to pimp out stuff for before we end things?
Brayton, go first, please.
Brayton, are you there?
Brayton, yeah, you there?
Video troubles all night.
Okay, there we go. We can hear you now. Now we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you.
Okay. Wow, this is annoying. All right. No, yeah, I have a couple things to pimp out, I suppose. Something we recorded last night. I am going to be a guest on the upcoming episode of the SOS podcast, episode 98, which is a trivia gamed UFO abduction based episode. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
Plenty of anal probing jokes.
I was going to say, is there probing? Yeah. There's got
plenty. up the wazoo.
With or without lube?
Well, you know. But no, it doesn't end the way you would expect it to end. You know, there's a surprise. There's a shocking turn of events at the end of the game. Things go a little differently than the last time I was on. But let me see, what else is there? Sure, I had more stuff to promote. Oh yeah, I have a cameo, and yes, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna save that for last. Okay. I have a cameo in an upcoming cameo in the 1998 Godzilla 98 review that will be going up on Andres' channel right here.
Yes. We're getting back to it, folks.
Yes, finally, after a long hiatus of writing and animating and procrastinating
and bullshitting.
We're getting back to it. Bullshitting, yes. We're getting back into the swing of things. Coming
back and yes, coming hard.
Well, we'll see about that. Andres, there are children here. Yes, Waffle Man also is going to be realized finally in Radio Drama 4 with the help of my good friend and now collaborator, kind of, Raffin Shoma. I've been doing a lot of voice acting stuff. As I mentioned at the top of the show, I'm the voice of Han Solo for Crate Dragon Films, which does a lot of Star Wars motion comics and is a really successful channel. I'm also the voice of Batman for Hype Voice. I think the channel is Hype Voice Acting. They're doing a motion comic of the Batman Ninja Turtles crossover that came out a couple of years ago.
Oh, sweet. Oh, you're gonna post a link for that? I run a comic book club at my school, and we're reading that comic with the kids right now. That'd be awesome. There was
sure, yeah, I'll link that to you. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
On my channel, I have a few things up. I posted a Luke Skywalker tribute video sort of thing, and some tests of very, very brief tests that I pulled, trying to recreate the classic Mystery Science Theater silhouette look with a green screen using my own robot friends, and riffing on a short film about public speaking, and then a scene from a wonderful movie called Jungle Captive. But outside of that, Raffin Shoma and I are also doing a podcast, or we've done a podcast. It's all ready to go. It's coming up on April 1st. It's a monumental podcast of epic proportions, and it's going to change the way the internet looks forever. You won't believe your eyes and your ears because you'll be amazed. And as we mentioned in last night's podcast, the date it's going up has no significance whatsoever.
Easter?
Well, April 1st also. That has absolutely no bearing whatsoever on the podcast. Just want to put that out there. Absolutely none. At all. But
nothing.
Nothing. No, of course not. Yes, it does. But also there's
you open up that video and it turns out to be Gene Wilder saying, "You lose. Good day, sir.
Good day, sir.
You get nothing."
Yeah. Be in store, and Shoma and I are bouncing around ideas for another huge project, which will take up a lot of time and a lot of my summer. Before we announce that, I kind of want to get scripts together and have everything ironed out before we, shoot our mouths off and bite off more than we can chew. But stay tuned for that, because I'll announce that on an upcoming episode of Audio Synchronicity if everything goes well.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
Excellent. So, let's see. For stuff I should pimp out, please check out the last two episodes of the Shoe Watch podcast, episodes 34 and 35 respectively, where I talk to episode 34 is where Matt Dennion and I explain the ins and outs of our Kaiju vs. Cancer project. If you'd like to learn more about that, you can also check out the Kaiju vs. Cancer Facebook page if you also want to see that. As we mentioned, you can support Kaiju vs. Cancer through the custom ink link I've set down below. Let's see. The other Shoe Watch episode is where I interview or chat with Christopher Martinez, the inspiration behind Kaiju vs. Cancer, and we talk about the future of his Fire Beast Oregon comic book series, which the plans of that series has changed as a result of his ongoing battle with cancer. And for the future, you can be sure to be on the lookout for my 3,000 subscribers special of my top 15 favorite giant monsters. I am about halfway finished with the script. I have all the art finished by my good buddy Steve Tao, which you saw earlier in the comments in this chat. You know him as Winter Gaia or Raptor Gear on DeviantArt. We got a lot of great art of the 15 monsters there, and will be hopefully edited by our good friend, my good friend Brayton here. And after that, we got the Godzilla 98 review that's coming up. But before that, because a lot of my videos, my old Godzilla reviews, have been blocked worldwide as a result of me having trailer footage, I'm going to be re-uploading all these videos. About the majority of them have been finished being uploaded with editing help from David Hernandez, aka Gorizard. So we'll be uploading them steadily, like a day at a time, leading up to the release of the Godzilla 98 review. So it'll be like we're picking up where we left off before the Mothra trilogy of reviews.
Fun.
So hopefully all of you guys will check that. Oh, and finally check out the Primal Warrior Draco Azul Facebook page for all updates on the Draco Azul character. It's been a while since we've had an update, only because I've been mostly focused on the Kaiju versus Cancer side of things, but hopefully we'll get a really good update for once Tyler is ready with this and another commission I'm asking him to do, and he'll get back into producing more art. And we got D-Man 1954, who's going to make a second update, showing off new pages and art from the comic, as well as showing off new projects such as Kaiju vs. Cancer and other things that Draco Azul will be making an appearance in the near future. So,
I've got to get on that podcast, Andres, because I thought it was like screwed up when I tried to get on with D-Man last time and he was having issues. But I thought, here it is. I'm getting caught up from the minor leagues from Kaiju Noir to D-Man, and I couldn't quite get there. So.
Once again, you get nothing. You lose.
Yeah.
Good day, sir. And a good day to you, my lovely audience. Thank you so very much.
Oh, wait, you're not going to let me pimp out my stuff?
I thought you did.
No.
No, okay, sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Thanks. So I do have the newest Atomic Rex book out now, Atomic Rex Conquest of Chimera, which is the third Atomic Rex book and the second Chimera book. It kind of blends the two stories together. I'm almost done, as I briefly said before, the follow-up to Operation Rock, Operation Megalodon. And sometime soon, Andres, you and I are going to record a Third Man review, right, for our Noir reviews, I guess?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yes. So that was it. Oh, and Brayden, I just want to give you a shout out, man. That intro you did for the Godzilla animation series was totally kick-ass, man.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I watched it, no lie, like 8 times just for the sake of watching the intro before I did other stuff. So it was awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Andres. That's all I needed to say.
All right, then. Sorry for the confusion. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody who has checked out our live stream. As always, I cannot thank you enough for all the love and support that you have shown just simply by coming here, watching, and even commenting. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Please check out all of our stuff in the near future. So as always, I have been your host, Andres Perez, aka Kaiju Noir.
And Brayton Connor.
And Matthew Dennion.
And until next time, everybody, take care, for you have been synchronized.
Yeah, live with that.
Seems like we're having difficulty pausing.
Uh-oh.
That sucks, because we just had a really good way of pausing. All right, sorry for the confusion, everybody. All right, thank you very much. That's all, folks. Dun, 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 dun.